You want to say anything to anybody?
Hello.
William Cooper, I see this guy sort of analogous to, in a lot of ways, even though he's not a contemporary, very analogous to Smedley Butler. For those of you not familiar with Smedley Butler, you want to educate yourself. You'll get an education on that. It's about a 20-page paper, PDF. You could do a search for it on the Google or internet or whatever. It's called War is a Racket. Okay, this guy is an American, in my view, hero as well, but he's an unsung hero, much like Smedley Butler, meaning most people, particularly Americans, have no idea who Smedley Butler is because he's not taught about in school. Likewise with this gentleman, this guy's more of a contemporary, actually. He just died around just after 9/11, right, Dave? So he's definitely
November
more...
5th, 2001.
Okay, so he's a contemporary, basically. So there would be an excuse why they wouldn't necessarily talk about this guy just yet in school. Smedley Butler, though, is a different story. But they're both similar. They both, or in this case, William Cooper, would be viewed as probably, I guess, a modern-day whistleblower, I guess. And here's a guy that was born in, I believe, 1943, in May 6th, I believe, 1943. He's from, I forget, was he born in Texas or Oklahoma? Somewhere in the Southwest. Anyway, when he grew up, he grew up in those days hunting and stuff like that. And eventually, as a young man, he joined the Air Force. He did a stint in the Air Force, I forget how many years. And then after he got out, shortly thereafter, he joined the Navy. I don't know exactly how many years he did in the Navy, but suffice to say, he got to a point in the Navy. I don't know if he was a low-ranking officer, I couldn't tell, but he got to a point in the Navy where he became part of the naval intelligence community, obtained the highest level of top secret security as well. Shortly thereafter, obtaining the highest level of top secret security, and I'm not an expert in this area, that's all I can say, he learned a few things that really stunned him and knocked him down. The biggest thing he learned that everybody can relate to, I think even a lot of millennials have probably heard of John F. Kennedy. The biggest thing he learned at that point was the John F. Kennedy assassination essentially was an inside job. What does that mean? The U.S. government took out our 32nd president. Naval intelligence, according to him, this guy is either telling the truth or he's off the reservation. So it's for you to decide. But according to him, naval intelligence was involved in that assassination, as was the Secret Service that day. And according to him, the Secret Service member, although I don't know who was driving the vehicle that day, was the person that actually, I guess, turned around and essentially shot Kennedy in the head. That's what he's saying. Now, whether you believe this or not, folks, whether you think this is conspiracy or not, let me just put this out there. The Kennedy records, maybe 5 or 8 years ago, and Dave, maybe you can look it up or something, were sealed again for 75 more years.
I thought Trump was going to release all those documents. Didn't he promise that when he was running?
I don't remember that, but it's, all I can tell you is why were the records sealed for another 75 years? I'm just asking the question. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm just asking the question. Why are we hiding this from the American people? 75 years is plenty of time for 2 or 3 generations or 1 or 2 generations to die. That's what I do know. Okay. Anybody that was around at all during the Kennedy assassination at that point would be 89 years old right now. So they'll be long gone. Generation Xers like us will be long gone in 75 years. Millennials, most of them, half of them will be gone. So that takes out 2 or 3 generations for the sealing of 75 years. By the time you get 75 years out in the future, you don't have to be a genius to figure this out. Nobody's going to remember. I mean, they're going to know, yeah, Kennedy was the 32nd president, whatever. By then, you'll be so many generations out, you'll be like 3, 4 generations.
Well, think about it. It would be like concealing something from 1900.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like it's like the War of 1898 documents
Yeah.
on the field.
Right. So we find out today what happened 100 years ago, even if it was totally egregious, totally illegal, totally unethical, immoral, you name it, keep going. It's like 4 generations ago. I mean, what the hell can we do at this point? I guess. What can you do? I don't know. I'm not a legal scholar or whatever either, but just commonsensical. What can you do? I mean, what do? You go after their family members or something? I don't know. Hey, your granddaddy did this. We'll put you in jail. I mean,
Well,
you know.
there is some. I mean, the bottom line is you know, in World War II, the Germans stole all that art from the Jewish people, and I'm pretty sure that art goes back to the owners. If you have
There you go.
stolen goods, if you buy stolen goods, it's too bad, so sad for you.
It begs the question, and I don't know this, statute of limitations, right?
There is no
If you've,
statute of
okay,
limitation.
that's what I'm saying. Does it even apply? Assuming it doesn't apply, which you know, we'll assume it doesn't apply. It might apply. I don't know. Maybe some international law somehow it might, Interpol or something. I don't know. That's another research effort. But without going down these rabbit holes, the bottom line is that is one of a few things, claims that this guy makes to start off with. Now, interestingly enough, he wrote this book, I think in 1991 or 92. He says in the book, various attempts were made on his life 3, 4, 5 times, okay, in which government officials or agents showed up. 2 or 3 times he was driven off the road, literally, off a cliff and stuff. And one time almost died and was left for dead.
Live long and prosper.